So, before we get into all the details about my weight loss journey over this past year, I think it's important to kind of paint you a picture of where I came from and my eating habits. So, a year ago and before, this is, more or less what they look like. My eating habits look like every single day. So, I started my morning with black coffee. Yep, that's it, just black coffee. And I still do that today. On my lunch break, I would go to Walmart or Aldi and I would get the following. So 2 bags of gummy bears, Haribo in particular. Oof, those are the best gummy bears in the whole wide world. Sometimes I would substitute gummy bears for, whatever king size candy bar of the day, Zero, Reese's, Snickers, whatever. A ½ pound block of pepper jack cheese, and when I was feeling a little bit peckish, let's bump that up to full 16 ounces of cheese there. 2 20-ounce sodas, usually Mountain Dew, Coke, something like that. And 1 bag of Cheetos. Crunchy, of course. I'm not 4 years old. So this was, more or less every single day, Monday through Friday. I'd get home around 5 p.m., have a snack. That snack would be yogurt, chips, a sandwich. Yeah, all 3 of those. And dinner would be deceivingly normal. I would have whatever I cooked for the family, whatever my wife cooked, whatever we had as a family, I would have normal human-sized portions for the meal. But if I was preparing the meal, I would, sneak things into my mouth and just shove it down my gullet as often as possible while I was cooking. And I've already mentioned it before, but here comes the worst part. I would wait for my wife and kids to go to bed, and then the party was on. So my go-to after my family went to bed was peanut butter on a tortilla. It ain't fancy, it ain't all that tasty, but it was good enough and super fast. And no, I didn't just spread a thin little layer on this tortilla. Imagine taking a tablespoon and dunking it, dipping it into the peanut butter jar, getting like the biggest spoonful you possibly could, putting 3 of those globs on a tortilla. So the thing's like, that thick. And yeah, I would have multiple of those peanut butter tortilla sandwiches. Honestly, it would probably equate to like 1.5 cups to 2 cups of peanut butter, like if we actually measured it per tortilla. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that, on special occasions, I would take the peanut butter in a bowl, dump powdered sugar into the bowl, mix. Tastes awesome, almost like puppy chow, right? And then that would go on the tortillas. Extra sweet. So this really isn't even the half of it, but I think it paints a picture of just how sad and gross that whole thing was. But this was my life. This was just normal for me. It was a habit I had created, and that was my life.